I get daily requests for, algebra assignments, and I think the one request that I get more than anything else is that we don't do enough fraction problems. And I know all of you are super excited that for this assignment, it's all going to be either fractions or decimals. I know, that collective excitement is just hard to contain. So for the first problem we're going to be working on, we have something that looks like a regular problem, except it has decimals inside it. Okay? What I have here is I have this piece here, and we want to move our x term to the left, but the problem is there's going to be nothing left. So for a couple of you, I've done something like this, where I've said just add 0 to the right. However you end up solving this problem is just fine. I'm going to do the adding 0 trick to move this to the left, just to say that I have. What I do is I have 0.2x, that's positive, so I need to move it left. So I'm going to subtract 0.2x. So that goes away. And then I subtract 0.2x from here as well. After that, I end up getting 3.3x minus 37.9 equals 0. Now I need to move this piece to the right, so I'm going to add 37.9. Okay, and I hope you're seeing the theme here is that decimals actually don't change these problems much at all. Equals 37.9. Now I divide by 3.3, and I get about 11.5. Or you could write it as like this. That means about. Either way is fine. Now to check our answer, I pull out the calculator, and I have this stored for x. That's pretty neat. Apparently if you hit Alt, that's the second key. That's kind of cool. I got to start looking for other buttons on here. Oh, there's parentheses. Awesome. Figure some tricks out. 3.5x. I wonder how I do minus. I don't know. Okay, 2.35. And on the other side, I go 0.2x. And I go 2.3. And I would say that 2.35 and 2.3 are very close. So on my sheet of paper, I write 2.3 is about 2.35. And so I put the old check mark next to them. And they're pretty good. Okay? For this problem, it's a tiny little extra step. I'm going to draw my line down the middle, and I'm going to try to move my x's left. So here's my x. That means I have to subtract 3.4x to make that go away. So over here, I subtract 3.4x as well. Negative 7.2 minus 3.4x more is 10.6x with a negative in front. And so I go 4.5 here. And on the other side, I go negative 49.5. Now I move this over. So I get negative 10.6x equals negative 54.0. And now I divide. Oh, I forgot. There we go. So about 5.09. That's what I'm going to put. Okay, so now in order to check this, I'm going to go 4.5 minus 7. Oops, I forget that I haven't learned how to do that yet. Minus 7.2x, and I get that. And on the other side, so I made a mistake. Let me pause and find it quick. found my mistake. I forgot to store for x. Once I did that, I got about negative 32 for each. So my answer did check out. All right. So I want you to try this problem on your own and see how it goes. Alrighty, let's take a look. Whoops. So for this one, I am going to subtract this right away from both sides. And just to save a little bit of time, I'm going to add this at the same step. So I'm going to have to use my calculator on this. So I get 8.79 minus 13. Oopsie. Minus 13.75. So it gives me negative 4.96. And on the other side, I'm going to get 6.48 plus 6.54. So I get negative 4.96 and 13.02. Let me just double check that. Okay, so now I divide by the negative 4.96. So I get about negative 2.625. Alrighty, let's check our answer. Take that and I'll store for x. So we get 8.79x minus 6.54. And I get 6.48 plus 13.75x. And those match up perfectly. So there's our answer. And the last one, we have a little bit of fraction involvement here. If you're confused on these, pretend that they're not fractions and then see how well you can solve them. I believe you all can do just fine. So let's pause it and give this a try. Alrighty, so I am going to add 2/3 to both sides, but I'm going to match it up with the 2. So I get 1/4 x equals 4/5, and I'm going to get plus 8/3 because 2 is 6/3. Whoops, that's an x here. Now I'm going to subtract 4/5. So I'm going to put 1/4 minus 4/5. Common denominator is 20. So we get negative 11/20. And now I divide by negative 11/20. So I go 8/3. I have to flip the second fraction. And so I get 160 over negative 33. Let me just make sure that that's fully simplified. It is. There we go. And to check my answer, I take this and I store for x. So I go 1 divided by 4, x minus 2 divided by 3. I get that. And on the other side, I get 4 divided by 5, x plus 2. And they match up. So that is the right answer. There's your homework assignment. I would like you to solve these two problems. That's one. And that's two. So bring these two problems to class tomorrow for full credit. Have a great night.